right, here's what I'm thinking so far.
The harness is already pre-wired, so I'm trying to position stuff so that I don't have to make any cuts. But basically, this part of the harness has to go to the alternator or the battery. So if we mount that on the alternator there, and I'm thinking about mounting the fuses and the relays here on the fender well. I think that'll be a good spot. And then I'm running the harness to the fans down alongside the radiator, down to the core support, bottom of the core support, down yonder to hook those up. And then we'll see if we can zip tie all that tight so that you can't get snagged by anything.
All right, I think that looks pretty good. We can zip tie it to that. Zip tie these guys together there. And zip tie here somewhere. And I think that'll square everything away on the bottom to the fans.
Be sure to disconnect the battery when you do this. This positive line goes straight to the battery, so if you were to hit the wrench against anything, it's going to spark. All right, so the fans are plugged in, the harness is laid out, our relays and fuses are mounted. So the next thing I'm gonna do is put in a temperature switch. I'm gonna go ahead and drain some of the coolant out, get that plug pulled, and then put this guy in. Here's something I have to explain with the temperature setting unit. I had the temperature setting unit here, but the harness doesn't reach that far. It only reaches to there. And then I'm like, okay, so it's got to go into this hole. Problem is, you see the size of that hole versus the size of that hole. So I bought this adapter, which is a 3/8 male to 1/8 inch female. And I bought a couple spares because I've got quite a few of these aluminum water pump housings. I'm sure I use it again. Anyway, I'm gonna put this adapter in here. Put the setting unit here. At least I'll have factory, hopefully the factory gauge works. I got everything done for the electric fans. I've got the harness plugged in to the fans, the relays and the fuses mounted on the fender well, power line to the alternator, and then these gray lines go to the switch, and then the blue and pink line I wired up into that white line that's going to the fuse box, so that it gets turned on basically like the remote switch on like a stereo system, so it gets turned on when the key's on. So the only thing left to do is drive it, get it warmed up, and see if the fans kick on. Hopefully they do, and then I think this thing's ready to roll. I gotta get my registration sticker and put it on the back, because I think the last sticker I have on it's 2021. Yeah, 2021. Gosh, when did I get this car? 17 or something like that? It's been sitting a while. Making progress, but very, very slowly. Anyway, let's fire it up. Perfect. It's just an eyeball alignment, so I wouldn't take it down the freeway till I get it aligned. But I like the ride. It floats like a boat. These things are heavy. My buddy John was saying that he thinks they weigh about around 4,800 pounds. That's C-body territory, you know? You can feel it. The car just kind of floats along. I'm guessing the temperature gauge doesn't work because it's not moving. I was hoping it would come on and work, give me an idea. I'm gonna have to put aftermarket gauges in it, so I have no idea how warm it is, but I think going around the block will get it up to running temperature. Got my IR gun. Let's see what the radiator is reading. Sucks it doesn't say what the temperature switch should be. I don't know. I mean, I prefer it to kick on at oh, wait a minute. All right, I just figured out the problem. I didn't have this guy shoved up far enough, so it wasn't grounded. This is supposed to be grounded, so let's see. All right. See the spider webs? All right, we just got to run a ground on that, and then we should be back in business. Take care of that. All right, it's working. One step closer. I was really hoping that the temperature gauge in the car was working, but it's not. Drove the car around the block, figured it would be up to temperature, which it was. If we'd made 2 laps, it would have overheated, but it did okay. Then realized I didn't ground it. Forgot to hook up the ground. Got that hooked up. So I'm gonna take it for another spin. We'll see what the temperature looks like at the water pump housing where the switch is. Right now, about 166, 65. Let's go for a spin. See what it does.
pads on. I think that's good. I think we're good. All right. Go around the block one more time.